I wish I would have taken my ADD medication.
Me too.
Because there is so much to discuss in this short podcast.
Can we pack it in 20 minutes?
I'll tell you this right now. You better buckle it up.
It's going to go fast.
Still not a word from my neighbor.
Oh, the one with the supposed camera pointing towards the backyard when you're frolicking back there and your nudity and whatever. By the way, it's the Jeremy Show. Just want to get that up there. Make sure you know.
Make sure to qualify that.
There's not the Todd Show. It's the Jeremy Show.
There is no supposed camera. There's a camera up there.
But it ain't pointing towards your,
Not that I know until we get to talk to him. But it has been made clear by the Jeremy Show podcast listener, get that neighbor on the podcast.
We need to do that.
So when we get a hold of him.
Can we go knock on the door ambush style? Channel 4 News, what do you say about this camera up here?
But we will if we don't hear back.
We will. Yes, we will.
Great neighbors. I love my neighbors. Yeah. Okay, so we will get to the neighbor at one point. Just keep listening to these weekly episodes that drop every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Last podcast, I told you that I had a physical, my yearly physical.
Yes.
Can you explain to me, a man of my size, if you've never seen a picture of me, if you're not watching our podcast weekly, youtube.com.
It's considerable.
Jeremy on the air.
As am I.
I'm a big boy.
Yeah.
We're big boys.
We are.
We're big boys. We're corn fed.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me how my blood work is perfect? It's right in the middle.
Maybe it's all of the walking around in your nudity in the backyard.
I knew
that's evening out your blood pressure. So is it the blood pressure? Is it the stuff in your blood? Everything is good?
My A1C is down to 5.8 or 9.
Okay.
They're not too crazy about that, but when it was 13 and I was
you should
just
have been dead.
About dead.
Yeah, losing a toe for sure.
They're okay with it because now they're saying, okay, well, you're pre-diabetic. We need to get this down. I'm on Ozempic. I'm on blood pressure medicine. I have got to lose the weight. So great medical update. My physical looks great. My blood work is fine, but they want the weight off.
So what are you doing about that?
Day 1 of keto today.
Keto. Explain to me what keto is.
Keto is high-fat bacon. You can have meat. You can have red meat. You can have ham. You can have all of that.
I like all that.
And that is what I think is going to keep me on this. Now,
what can't you have?
You can't have carbs.
Not at all?
No. Well, very little. You can't have like bread. You can't have. I've got these keto tortillas that you can
get. What do those taste like, by the way?
I haven't.
It can't be good. Do they taste like meat? Because maybe they're meat tortillas.
Maybe they are.
Yeah.
But I'm trying. Today is day 1
of
keto. And all of my friends have lost. There's not one friend of mine or acquaintance of mine that has not lost over 30 pounds.
Doing keto.
A couple of good friends of mine are on it now. Lost over 30 pounds on it.
And what are high fats? You mean like...
you can have bacon.
Butter.
Yeah, butter, bacon.
Like guacamole. You can have avocado, that kind of thing? Okay.
You can have avocado. You can't get into... I'm having to watch like green beans because anything that has sugar added to it, you got to stay away from.
You can't. So you can't have them dressed up with all the stuff you normally would.
Can't have ketchup. You can have mustard and stuff like that. So I am learning the keto world right now.
Yep.
And I will update you.
I'd like to hear an update.
Now, if you want to follow me on my TikTok, it's Jeremy's Weight Loss Journey on there.
I'm not doing. I don't do TikTok.
You're not a fan of the TikTok.
Well, I mean, I'm foreigners and
spies and all
trying
that.
to go and get into my computer. I don't appreciate that. I don't need that.
Jeremy, all you're going to find is fat content, me eating food on my TikTok.
Okay.
Jeremy on the air if you want to follow my daily weight loss journey and my keto journey. So that's going on. You have a story. First of all, can I just say you have been in my prayers.
Thank you.
There has been a death in the family.
Yes.
This is on your beautiful wife's Becca's side.
Her Uncle Phil passed away.
Y'all over the weekend had to get in the car, drive down to Houston. Can I ask you, are people still hurt over the Rangers beating.
It was not very pleasant when Becca walked in with a Rangers jersey on.
Why would she do that?
Because she's smushing their nose in it. That's why.
Oh, no.
Like, way to make friends. And they're like, oh, great. Well, it'd be great if you take that, change your shirt. She's like, you know what? We don't ever get to go to the World Series hardly, so I'm wearing my shirt. She's not even taking it back.
And by the way, we didn't cheat.
Right. Exactly right. No cheating over here. Yeah.
I'm not, you know what? I could care less about school.
It's an exciting thing, though, for a Rangers fan. They just, they haven't had anything like this in so long. It's been years. And so, yeah, she's really excited.
Well, that's fantastic. So you get in the car, you go down to Houston.
With the father-in-law and the brother-in-law.
Okay.
And, the father-in-law likes to talk a lot about things that I don't understand what he's talking about. The old ships back in the day made you wear an onion around your belt because that was the custom at the time. And I'm like, I got 5 hours of this stuff, I'm begging for a crash or, like something. But we get there, and of course, my wife has already been there. She's been with the family, and she said, come in and be rude if you don't come in.
I'll be rude.
I'm thinking, 5-10 minutes. It's 2 hours that we're there.
Yeah.
Which, after driving all day is not the best, but I'm not there for me. I'm there for them. And, the cousin she's staying with, or that she was visiting, it was her dad. And in the house, there's a dog. The dog is about 5 feet tall, big, giant, large. It's some kind of poodle mix, a curly snicker poodle, doodle poodle. I don't know what the heck they call this thing.
What do they do? Ride it when they get done?
There's a saddle on there too, I understand.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he had like a trough out back. Well, this dog is not. He's friendly. Let's go that route.
Okay.
Very friendly.
So he loved his time.
He latched onto me like the last piece of meat in the room. And I made the mistake of just scratching his head a little bit. Hey, buddy, how you doing? His name is what's his name? Jon Snow. Now it's a proper noun. Jon Snow is a character on what's that goofball? Game of Thrones. They love Game of Thrones.
They named the dog
Jon Snow. It's his name, Jon Snow.
He was begging for you to take him out of the house.
Take me with you. So this dog, over the course of an hour and a half. Now let me set this up and say the dog is fine. There's no problem with the dog. Is not it's a friendly dog, pretty well, except for what I'm about to talk about. And these people are lovely people, but they're in the middle of their grief and they're talking and trying to visit. I'm in the back of the room. Here comes Jon Snow.
By the way, is the father-in-law who's talking the horns off a billy goat, is he there?
He's there watching it was the game on. It was the Rangers game. He was there, but he was like immersed in the game. The only time you get him to shut up is to get a game on.
I was going to say,
should have had a game on the car,
Back in the 20s when they were playing football, they would
tie an onion around their belt. That was the custom at the time.
Shut up, we're trying to watch the game.
I'm stealing a Simpsons line there, but anyway, the dog comes up, and I'm trying to sort of talk with the crowd, but I'm keeping my distance. And the dog starts jumping on me, and he starts licking me all over the place. He's licking every part of my shirt. And I planned to use that shirt the next day just to drive home. Oh no, that shirt got burned because it smells like dog forever.
Is he smelling your cats?
No. This was like freshly laundered shirt. I mean, no big deal. I just drove in it, so I thought I'll just drive back. We're going to make this a quick turnaround. And this dog is licking every part of my shirt. He's doing a play biting on my arm. He's rubbing his mouth all over it. And then I try to get the phone, and he gets his nose, and he pops that arm out where I can't even look at the phone. So this is constant thing, constant.
Does anybody notice?
Whoa, sorry.
Does anybody notice?
No, the guy who is the husband of the basically the owner of the house, he's sitting 3 feet away from me, just ignoring it, You
got this dinosaur of a dog.
I got this big giant T-Rex on me, licking me all over and knocking my arm. And then he starts to smell my crotch. Not just smelling, keeping his nose down there. And I'm like, rather friendly, trying to get attention. And he look at me and says, yeah, he can do that. So I'm thinking maybe a diversion would be good. So I get up.
Peanut butter.
I'll need some surgery after that. So I'm walking to the bathroom to get away from this dog, and I spent some time in there. Didn't need to go. Open the door. The dog is right there.
Jon Snow.
Jon Snow is ready to go again. He's like, "What'd you do there?" You know, he's like trying to see what happened with the crotch area. I go sit down. Guess what? He's back on me again, all over.
Gosh.
And everybody's like, "Oh, it's kind of funny how Jon Snow is following Todd all over." Yeah, it's kind of funny how my crotch has all been, you know, I got like a Me Too moment going on here. For goodness sake. So then, thank the Lord this happened, but this is another incident. This Friday night was just nuts. These people are into Halloween. Like, they've got a big tarantula in the front yard. It covers the whole front yard. And I'm walking under and I'm saying, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow and death."
I rebuke this in the name of the Lord.
That's right. I'm praying the whole time. One of the neighbors, they have a big neighbor. Every yard is decorated to the hilt. It's crazy. Huh. Like walking through a haunted house city or something.
Wow.
This woman who's a neighbor comes in, wanted to show off her outfit, and thank God Jon Snow went over there. This woman.
Was Jon Snow?
No, she was dressed as Dolly Parton. Oh, and she is a rather slender woman, but she had these oversized appliques that was like exaggerated. It is like eye-poppingly crazy and inappropriate, but they do stuff
Dolly
like
Parton.
Very, very Dolly Parton. So she's doing a fashion show walking through, and I'm hiding my eyes because I'm like, I'm a married man. I'm a married man. I'm a married man. She was really pretty, but you know, everybody was laughing, and you know, Becca's looking at me like, "So what do you?"
I'm going as Jon Snow.
That's right. Start going. Let me spell that for you. I'll lick your shirt. And once she left, Jon Snow was like at least distracted enough where he went to the front window, was barking at people.
Yeah.
I made him a getaway in the backyard to sort of wait it out. I wanted to say, "Becca, get in the car. We're going.
We're out of here.
We're done." So the rest of the weekend was pretty uneventful, but that was just, I couldn't wait to tell you my dog story.
Wow.
And that's a lot. And I'm sorry, but it all happened.
Jon Snow, huh?
Jon Snow, yeah.
Was Becca side-eyeing Jon Snow as you left? Because
she should have been. No,
like...
she was too busy talking about, you know, horsies and Brad Pitt and, you know, pigtails or whatever women talk about. You know, I don't know what they do.
Sugar and spice.
Sugar and spice. Whiskers on kittens.
So I cannot believe Jon Snow did not attack Dolly Parton in the same way she's attacked.
There's a lot more there to attack, I'll tell you that. There was a lot going on there. It was like, wowie, that you walked around the neighborhood like that. Wow. All right.
Well,
all right.
I'm kind of glad. It sounds like the family is handling the loss a little.
They are. And I want to bookend this and say that this was a real tough time because Phil, who was just a saint of a guy, had a weird accident where he fell in his garage and he'd had knee replacement. But when he fell on the knee, and it was a weird freak accident that like hit an artery or hit vein where he bled. I mean, and so he was in the hospital and they thought he was recovering, but he took a turn and he passed away about a week or so after. And it was just devastating because he was in his 70s, but certainly not an age where you expect somebody to go on. And the family, they're close and they're a loving family. And, you know, I wish my family were more like theirs, except we don't have any dogs that molest people. that part I'm happy about with my family, but the rest of it,
you can pick and choose, maybe.
If I could, yeah.
How was the father-in-law on the drive back home?
Well, okay, I'll tell you that one. This was Saturday afternoon, and there's all kinds of college football. I don't care about college football. And he's like, and see, when I'm the driver, I should be getting like the choose whatever's on the radio.
Right.
Because I got to stay awake and I was exhausted, you know, after all the sexual molesting and everything with the dog. I like
at least get a nap out
something, get at least a nap or some kind of relief. Turn on the game of so-and-so. I'm like, so I just put in my ear pods and I listen to something else. But I turned the game on and you've got a brother-in-law, got a father-in-law. Yeah, we want to hear blah, blah. The game's on. They're both out. They go to sleep. And so I turned the radio down, was about to switch it back. Anyway, he said, "What happened to the game?" And I'm like, I'm just not going to win this day. This weekend is not for me. So
you had yourself a weekend.
I did. I did. And then I got home and learned that Matthew Perry died of Friends, which was kind of sad. But
isn't that awful?
That was terrible. Yeah.
I mean,
it was a big loss.
This last weekend was absolutely horrible. And you know what we will say about the Matthew Perry thing?
Yeah.
I had just read his book.
Oh, did you?
I read the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to me that normal people like us always think the grass is greener.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it true that we're always saying, oh, the rich, the famous?
Man, if I could just have the resources they have and never have to worry about bills and all that.
Yeah, go buy whatever you want.
Yeah.
What if I'm recognized? Those people suffer every day.
Yeah.
And they wish they had what you and I have. Which
is so mind-blowing.
Isn't that crazy?
It really
and
is.
I don't think people realize that. And it's so sad. And in that book, Matthew Perry he didn't want to be alone.
Yeah.
He didn't want to die alone.
Yeah.
He wanted a wife. He wanted kids. And he died alone in that backyard in LA, rich and famous. In
a hot tub.
And a jacuzzi.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that disease, it is a disease, addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And it kills me. But he did everything he could to help those with addiction.
He did.
And we continue to pray for Matthew Perry's family.
Yeah.
It's so sad to watch his family come on the scene this last weekend and the paparazzi just in their face, relentless. And it's just.
Because that's what they do. And they don't care if they hurt people's feelings or invade privacy and all that kind of
thing. What if Matthew Perry went out in his backyard naked?
Well, he might be still here today had he not gotten in the jacuzzi.
Right.
But if there had been a dog named Jon Snow and he were naked, there'd be probably a new headline for Monday. That's for sure. I'll tell you that much.
It would be a bigger headline.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
All right, listen, next week we're going to get back to it. Thank you for hanging out with us on these shenanigans.
Number 21 we just finished.
21. We're on our way to 22. We'll see you next week.
Yes.